Okay, we wanted to make a video that showcases some of the beats that I didn't get to in the walkthrough. We're going to try to move through them somewhat quickly, pointing out some highlights along the way. Let's start with this beat, 118 Murer Murmur. I don't know who names these, but they are trolling me. Okay, so I'm just kidding, I named it. The thing I wanted to point out about this one is that the bass, or the kick drum is not really acting like a kick drum, it's acting more like a bass. And then we have a tom that's acting more like a kick. Some really fun sounds in here. This is based on the kit backslider. And so on the kick drum, you see we have these two layers. There's the defam destroyed. And then defam sub noise. These have the attack really slow. And then they are also panned hard left and hard right. So it gives you the effect of it kind of moving from the left to right. The snare drum is this Juno resonant dull. Hi-hat is this really fun Juno hi-hat. And then got some defam toms. And then on the percussion side, we have something doing this melodic line. I believe that is the log drum high. Oh, no, is not. Tabla high, maybe. And you can hear that we're using spread to kind of pan it back and forth. And all those elements together make this beat. All right, next. All right, 110 ReadySet. This is based on the Speakeasy beat. Got some defam kick mixed with the 808 tin can. Snare is an 808 2-inch tape and the Juno whack. Juno whack I mix into a lot of these snare drums. You'll see that coming up a lot. Hi-hats are 808, some defam toms, and it makes it sound like this. "100 Mischievous Devious," another little tongue twister. This is based on the kit Trickster. So a lot of stuff happening there at the end. I believe that this Bomba mid is that thing at the end that's kind of this descending line. So kind of an interesting use of that. There's a snap happening, and then also a cowbell that it's kind of adding a little bit of a note, a little bit of a pitch to the beat. And then, as always, I want to point out that the decay is helping to make some new rhythms just by using this lane and shortening up some of these. So make sure and always keep an eye out for that stuff happening in the decay lane. 107 tight Perc swing. This has some percussion. It's kind of a more mellow sound, and it's based on the kit Tightwad, and it's kind of a hybrid acoustic electric sounding kit. So on this kick, we have a Juno More Mid on the snare. We have just a 909. Hi-hats are 909. And then we have this, I'm doing two different things with the toms. There is Variety Panther Low, and then there is 808 Low. These serve different functions, so they're not necessarily supposed to sound like two matching toms. And then 909 Ride, 909 Crash. But not a lot of snare mixed in on this one. It's more, the percussion is more the, it takes a more prominent role. '96 and 5/4, I changed my DAW to 5/4 to follow my own instructions. And then this is based on a beat that you may be familiar with from an album that you may be familiar with. Let's hear a little bit of it. This is based on the Famicom kit selection. So we have this DFAM square spring mixed in with DFAM subnoise, although we're much more on the DFAM subnoise side. But just to give it a little bit of that extra little edge of that square wave. And then we're using primarily this Juno Resonant Bright, a little bit of this Juno Resonant Sub as well. Hi-hats are 909, and then some DFAM toms. But that essentially is how we made up this beat, 96 and 5/4. All right, 90 Demolition. There is a track called Demolition on our website and soon to be streaming that uses, this beat plays a very heavy, prominent role in. This is based on the kit AIM. And if you were someone that saw, that, Electro uses 808, 909 DFAM samples, and you weren't sure if you're necessarily an 808 or 909 type person, we wanted to showcase a very different side of this instrument that you may not be expecting, to show how far you can stretch these sounds. This beat is a great example of that. So this is going to be using a couple of DFAM kicks, the Destroyed and Slight Friction. The snare is this Juno Rat-a-tat and a Juno Whack with some reverb on it. Hi-hats are 808. You can see there's a lot of distortion and distress being turned up on this. And then the toms are both different types of DFAM. And once again, this is based on the AIM kit. There is another very similar beat that uses this same kit. I'm going to hop to that one next. This is 87 JACKPOT. That's a really fun beat. I'm excited to hear what you guys do with that one. Yeah, a few Juno samples. This is pretty similar to the other one, although it looks like I used the 909 instead of the Slight Friction DFAM. And then some DFAM low basic noise on Tom 1, 808 low on Tom 2. Lots of fun stuff happening in there. Let's go to the next one. 83 Little Boomer. I wanted to point out on this one that we have that, kick sidechaining kick type thing that I've talked about in the other videos, where one of the kicks has a faster attack, one has a very slow attack, so it kind of sounds like the kick is sidechaining itself. Let's hear this whole beat. So that's the kick. Here's the snare. It looks like a mix of 808 and 909 with slightly different tunings. 808 kick, or sorry, 808 hi-hat, and then the toms are both DFAM toms. 808 ride. All right, next one. 96 MSG. There is a percussion thing I want to point out with this one, but let's go ahead and just hear it first. So for one thing, you can hear that the kick sounds like it changes about halfway through the sequence, and that's just from using the decay lane. And then as we go on, we let that sub ring out longer. The other thing I wanted to point out is that on Perc 1 and 2, I have two different tambourines, and they are tuned differently, panned differently, and then also I messed with the timing on them to make this one later than this one. And so when we solo these, it gives it a more realistic sound to pan them apart, tune them apart, and then spread the timing just a little bit. '70, everyone gets to sing, and we named it that because everyone does get to sing on this beat, luckily. So you can hear that the toms are melodic. Well, everything is basically melodic on this beat. And it's based on the industry 808 kit. I think there's mostly 808 samples. Yep, 808 heavy saturation. Hi-hats are 808. Toms are 2 DFAM high samples, but they are tuned differently. And then 808 ride, crash, and then some more of that other melodic sounding stuff is happening from these congas, all 808 samples. So just another example of how you can use some of these drums to play more like a keyboard. 76 Monster, this one has some fun stuff happening with the percussion. I have some claps that are panned hard left and right. It looks like an 808 and 909, two 909s and an 808. They're pitched differently, they're panned differently. Let's hear a little bit of this one. That is based on the Pocket Monster kit, and it is mostly 808 samples throughout. Let's hear this beat, 6668, kind of a malevolent sounding name. Let's hear it. Crazy stuff happening in there. I almost have, so you can hear that it sounds like there is like some kind of acoustic, it's a little bit more acoustic sounding kick layered over a subby kick. This first one has a shorter decay, fast attack. The other one has a longer decay, slower attack, and that's how you get this. But then after a few measures, the toms kind of join in and take the same line. Let me just solo these three together. It's a really wicked sounding beat. That is based on the over-under kit. It is also utilizing the pitch strips throughout to kind of make that bass line. And then the toms would be using the tune lane to get those notes. 97 confidence. Just going to go through some a little quicker now. 97 straightforward. .92 lowercase. This one uses the feel lane to kind of get the groove. You'll notice that swing is turned down, but there is still some manipulation of the feel happening when you listen. .92 Straightjacket. This utilizes Lindrum samples in a way that is not quite as much. I think that some of the beats that I made that are mostly Lindrum kind of lead in like a very 80s pop kind of way, but there are a lot of other uses for it as well. This one, it has a little bit more of a snappy sound. You see we have the snappy knob turned up. And then, yeah, so there are a lot of Lindrum samples in here. Although the kick is mostly this Juno mixed with the DFAM extra sub. But I'm kind of using those to make an acoustic sounding kick drum. That is 92 Straightjacket. 83 Lil Boomer. That's kind of like a hybrid acoustic electric sounding kit. And it is actually based on a kit of the same name, or similar name, Boomer, all lowercase. Here's another beat that is almost entirely Lindrum, but this has a little bit more of that synth pop sound to it. This is 85 Galactic Wave, and it is based on the kit Synthwave. And you can hear we have this gated reverb on that that works really nice with the Lindrum. 83 Scattershot. This might sound familiar to you. We based it on another beat by another artist. And I will mention that, well, let's hear it first and then I'll explain. There's a lot of wild stuff happening in the beat maker on this one. when you get towards the end here. Nothing in these. I was going to mention, if you wanted to make this even more similar to the reference that we were going for, you can automate these snappy and tone knobs. You can assign them to your MIDI keyboard, and that will make a beat like this even more fun. This is based on the kit Sus. This is mostly 909 though. This one is called Mellow Mids for obvious reasons. The top end is really rolled off of this one, but this is another acoustic electric kind of hybrid. I really like the sound of this, this kit. But I think we should probably stop right there. I hope that this video has shown you another side of Electro that you were not aware of. We're really excited it's out. Really excited to see what you do with it.